We're seeing if we can get YouTube to go, and there we go. Looks like we're finally going. All right, finally. Just only took 2 tries to get onto YouTube tonight, but we're finally there. So looks like we're live on both formats, both Facebook and YouTube, and we're ready to go. We got a bunch of guys here ready and waiting on YouTube. Excuse me, Cream City Pete. Pete Winters is here. Gary Katz. Kevin L made it. Charles Fitz is on and ready to go. Bill Disk. Jim Petty. Dad's here. So, all right. Looks like we're caught up. Looks like we're working everywhere. And, which, hey, that ain't bad. We were in within a few minutes this time. Some of these nights it's taking almost 10 minutes to get in. But we're live. We're ready to go tonight. So, Kevin Brown. Before we get too far along, Ken from Michigan. I want to let you guys know real quick. John Sanderson's here. Ken Schultz. This last week has been really, really rough. I twisted my back. Tuesday, I think I re-injured an old accident, and it's been a pretty miserable week. I have not been sleeping, and I'm pretty wiped out. So we'll see how far we go tonight. But if I kind of start to the point where I'm crashing pretty hard, we may cut short. I've got a full episode built. We'll see how far we get. Story time is going to take some time. We may not get to that tonight because there's quite a bit of information with that car. We'll kind of just wing it, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how I hang in there and see what we can get done tonight. Also, next week I will be out of town. So we will not be on next Sunday night. So note that, actually, all it was, believe it or not, about 7 or 8 years ago, I missed a step on the loader. I was coming down off the loader, and I stepped down on the first step, and when I put my next foot down, it missed and slipped. So I had 1 foot flat on the ground, 1 foot still on the top step of the loader, and they were both flat. For like I measured it back then. I think it was like a 52-inch difference, and obviously that twisted me up pretty bad. Tuesday I was on the loader, on and off the loader. I never fell off of it or slipped, but I must have just torqued it, getting up and down, because it feels about like it did back when I did that 7 or 8 years ago, right down, deep down in my lower back, going down into my left leg. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully it works itself out. So Lee from New York's here. Andy the Rusty Okie made it by. So we'll see how things go. But like I said, last night time I got everything finished up for tonight. There's Leo. Got home. I didn't get to bed till 12:30. I did sleep till 3:30. Woke up at 3:30, tried to ice pack it and tried to get it calmed down, and finally got back to bed about 5:30. Woke up a couple of more times between 5:30 and 7 when I finally was awake and had to get up. So that's kind of what my last 4 or 5 nights have been like. There's Mary. So anyway, if I get to the point where I'm just nosediving, we'll probably go ahead and wrap her up. So thanks, Tim. I'll keep that. I'll make note of that. So. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at tonight. So bear with me. We'll definitely knock some stuff out tonight. I've got a lot of really cool stuff for tonight. So I definitely want to get some of it done. Plus the fact that we won't be on next week. Speaking of next week, the guys in the training group, I will not be here Thursday either. So if we want to go like Tuesday night after Toy Tuesday or something, we can do that. We've got Pete, Bill, and Eric Roseberry in the training group as of now. So you guys let me know what you want to do. Wednesday night, I think we're doing Bang Shift again. So I may be on the Bang Shift channel Wednesday night. Chad said he wanted to do it again this Wednesday. So we'll see how that works. So keep that in mind, guys. Let me know what we need to do on that to get that squeezed in as well. Mike from Texas is here. But anyway, just make note of that. I'll try to put a reminder up next week as well that we won't be on next Sunday night. Dennis is here with us. David W. The Gathering video, as well as the Gathering feedback. I super appreciate you guys that took the time to respond to Pete's email about feedback. A lot of great ideas, some ideas on how to even make things better next time. Obviously, a ton of interest in doing it a third time already. So I'm taking that as you guys all had fun. and really appreciate the feedback on that. The video is put together. It's an hour long by the time we got all the clips put together, because I've got, clips from the brewery Friday night, clips from the auction, the giveaway clips, the back to the brewery, the trivia stuff. So just a lot of different bits and pieces. You may want to watch all of it, but for you guys that weren't here, I hope it does give you a decent idea of what we did at the gathering. So scavenger hunt, that's not a terrible idea either, Pete. I actually kind of like that, because we could, I like that, Pete, because we could do a scavenger hunt of just like stuff you had to find on cars and take pictures on your phone. And we could, I kind of like that. So maybe we'll make a note of that, Pete Winters, if a scavenger hunt, we could get a list together and everybody has to have a picture of whatever the piece is we're looking for, whatever on their phone. And we can even incorporate into the whole weekend if we do another auction or whatever we decide to do next year. Definitely some different things shaking, some different ideas of other things we could even do around here. So a lot of great ideas. Hey, there's Randy. John from South Texas. Hopefully, Tim, like I said, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of Pete likes it. Yeah, and you're right, Pete. It's something simple and fun. And, and it would test test how well a lot of you guys know your cars. Hey, there's Tractor Mike. We're going to talk about Tractor Mike here in just a few minutes. As usual, when Tractor Mike comes up, none of it's really any good, but we're going to talk about him anyway. Actually, it's all good, but Briggs is here. Kenny's here. Kenny Peterson made it. So I like the scavenger hunt idea. Thanks, Cream City Pete. That could be fun. There was also, I think John Sanderson mentioned that see if anybody can compete with Rico on making prizes. That could be part of the scavenger hunt deal too, on who makes the prize, on if other guys wanted to make custom prizes for everybody. There's all kinds of cool stuff we can shake out. And that's what's there again, just like what we do here on Sunday night. Your guys' input is what makes this show happen. Your guys' input is what's going to make the gatherings even better, because apparently there's obviously a lot of support to do it again next year. So, definitely appreciate the feedback. And I guess that means we need to start tossing some ideas around and kind of line up some stuff out with the amount of guys that already want to come back next year and the guys that haven't been able to make it that want to come back. So keep that in mind, and super excited about it. And I love that. It's a great idea, Cream City Pete. Thanks for throwing that out there. We'll see what we can get put together for next year. Like I mentioned, I think Wednesday night we are going to do Bang Shift again. I have not talked to Chad this weekend, but as of 2 weeks ago, he said we're going to go again in 2 weeks. So we may be on. I'll put a notice up as well, like I did last time, if we're going to be live on the Bang Shift channel Wednesday night, if any of you guys feel like jumping on there with us also. Meekum Indy started this weekend. I have not watched any of it. It goes all the way through next weekend. Like I said, I've been literally just so beat up that I haven't even really cared. Just trying to keep up with what I've got going and trying to make things happen, and just some of the stuff just kind of gone by the wayside. So, I just seen something. Guess what I found the other day, guys? I was at the gun shop. I had this laying here. I just seen it. I went at the gun shop and talking to my buddy that owns it. And somebody came in and sold him like 15 of these. Mine's still laying here. I had to buy one. As soon as she left, I was like, dude, I got to own one of those. Check this thing out. I hope you guys can see it on your screen. Hey, there's Matt. It's 1884 silver dollar, and I think it's uncirculated. He bought like 15 of these when I was standing there. I was like, I got to have one. It was beautiful. Silver, all silver. So I was excited. I had to show that to you guys. If you guys want one, let me know. Dad bought like half of them, but I think he's still got a few left. So if anybody wants one of these, get with me. I'll see what he's got left. It's a fake. Bunch in Garden City last week. These are silver. They check these out as silver. So, yep, that's why I new drink coin. Now I'm putting this back in the baggie. So I was excited about that. It was laying there. I had to show it to you guys. But speaking of a new drink coin, we still got the old ones right here. Boom. Hudson badge. Oh, we can do a rotating Hudson badge. What do you think of that? Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention real quick. The coffee cups and the plates we got from Pappy. If you didn't get yours, other than like Big Jobs, I still got his because I needed an address to ship. If you didn't get your stuff between the guys that were here, I think I've got most of it shipped. If I had you down for something from Pappy, let me know that if you don't have it yet, in case there's one or two things that I missed. I think I got most of them, but I want to double check and make sure I didn't miss anybody. Also, Cream City Pete, I need your address as well. I got your payment, but there was no shipping info on it. So I need that from you as well to get those pieces headed your way. But anyway, like I mentioned earlier, Dad and I went out to see Tractor Mike last week. I hadn't been out there in a while. So it was great to go out and see his latest additions. I hadn't even seen his new shop, which he bought a couple of years ago. Yeah, the Mercedes video. What do you think of that, Jim? That was, I don't know. It's here. I already bought it. I'm stuck with it. So it is what it is. However, the good thing about the Mercedes video, if there is anything good about the Mercedes, is I did look at a few of the comments on it just because I don't know what it is. And a few of the lights and a few other little knick-knack things will actually fit or actually are the same as a Porsche 356. So maybe that stuff has at least somewhat of a chance of selling, and maybe I can at least get part of my money back. So best thing to do is call me, Pete. If you email, I check emails once or twice a week because there's just so much crap in them that I don't even hardly look at them anymore. So calling me would be the easiest way to do it, Pete. So anyway, we go out to Tractor Mike's. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been there. Dad hadn't been out there. And we've got some Tractor Mike videos coming up. We did do a short video on Tractor Mike's toy collection, or part of his toy collection. Tractor Mike has toys everywhere. Everywhere. So he's got the bulk of it in one spot. So we did a video, just a 10 or 12 minute one down in his basement, a quick run through just to give you an idea of the Tractor Mike toy situation. He with the most toys wins. Well, you're definitely in the running because Tractor Mike has an insane amount of toy tractors. I don't know how many are in there, but it's a bunch. So we will be sharing a little bit of that with you coming up. Hey, there's Neil. And we also did a video on Tractor Mike's latest acquisition. The members have seen that video. It will be going public next Friday night. Tractor Mike's new toy, a bucket list buy. We have looked at every one of these that we've seen at every Meekum. Anywhere we've seen anything remotely close to this, Tractor Mike has been all over it. And he finally got one bought. So that video will be coming very, very soon. Next Friday night, you guys will get to see the latest addition to the Tractor Mike collection, and it is epic. It is epic. It is a one-owner car. It is low miles. It has every piece of documentation back to the original insurance policy that the guy got the day before he picked the car up brand new. So you guys are going to, I think you guys are going to dig that. We'll have a few some teaser shorts coming up here next week, but next Friday night, we have the full video on the new Tractor Mike acquisition. So we did hang out there for a while, went around, checked out some of his sheds. One thing I did realize, because I said it'd been a while since I've been there. If we was to have a car show, and Tractor Mike, you can agree with me or disagree with me on this, because I've been thinking about this, so I need Tractor Mike's opinion. If we got my cars and Dad's cars that you guys have seen at the gathering, and then we went and got Tractor Mike's cars and Tractor Mike's dad's cars, which he's a couple hours away, so the logistics of this doesn't work. But if we was to have our own car show, me and Dad and Tractor Mike and his dad, and you tell me what you think, Tractor Mike, I'd say that's a 100-unit deal. Yeah, we would. Jeff from Ottawa. I mean, I think if we gathered up all of our cars and trucks, me, Dad, Tractor Mike, and his dad, I think that's a 100-unit car show. And that doesn't even get into Tractor Mike's tractors. Better than most car shows. That's, like I said, I seriously think it would be a 100-unit deal. And then Tractor Mike's tractors are a whole nother level in and of themselves. So anyway, great to go out and see Tractor Mike, hang out for the day, went out and had some lunch, bopped around, checked out stuff, checked out his new shop. Yep, it's a lot of cars and trucks, Kenny. It's a lot. And they're everywhere, so. You got to narrow that down, Pete. I think you got 3 of them. So. Anyway, well, some of you guys wanted to see the Shelby checks. We're going to get those squeezed in. We're going to talk about new inventory. We're going to check out some ads. We're going to check out a badge, brochure, epic promo model, by the way, tonight, epic promo model. But we're going to mix some things up a bit as well, like we've been doing, bounce some things around, throw in some auction pieces here and there. As always, when we do auctions, we will go 90 seconds. I will give you the 30-second mark. I will give you the 60-second mark. After we get done with the description, I will throw it on the timer. Whatever the last bid I see at 90 seconds is going to be the winner. So we will we'll work some of that stuff in as well. We got some cool stuff for that tonight. And we'll kind of keep working our way through some things. Before we get too far along, new inventory. Speaking of this week, I did pick up 2 cars, actually 1 car and 1 truck this week. Back to the auction, which I've got to get the auction video done for you guys. You saw in the preview video, I did go back and get another Lincoln that I bought. 1956 Lincoln Premier 2-door hardtop that was a factory lavender car with a white roof. I bet this thing would have been an absolute knockout in its day. So got that one picked up. It's pretty much a complete car, missing a few small pieces, but the whole car was full of parts. And then I picked up another load of parts that I had bought in another building of the auction, stuffed all those parts in it. So it's really full of Lincoln parts now. So, but, so we'll be getting, well, I've got another 56 out there. I'm going to get that other 56 picked up, and then we'll get you a video on those. Also picked up a 1965 Ford F100 long bed fleet side pickup yesterday. Not a bad old truck. It's got a little rust in the cab corners and things like that, but and the hood is tweaked. The hood hinges and the hood are tweaked. But just an old original kind of robin's egg blue. Still has the dealer sticker on the truck. Just kind of a pretty honest old pickup. Just been sitting for a long time. Yeah, that's a good analysis. A dentist or doctor's wife's car. It's probably what it was, something like that, to be honest with you. But like I said, I bet in its day it was slick. So the Ford pickup, we'll be getting you a video on that as well. I've also got a 62 or 3 short step side that came in a few months ago that is a little bit rougher. We'll probably squeeze both of those Ford pickups into an upcoming video as well. But anyway, let's you want to sell something? Should we throw something and sell something? Oh, man. I got to be careful. I just about ready to spin around and grab something. I got to be a little slower with that now. Let's start off with a license plate. This is just a fair condition, but it's an earlier one. Hey, there's Austin. So we'll start off with kind of a plainer, more basic cap as we're working in, just to get everybody in the groove and get rolling. So let's start off with a license plate, kind of work our way into some auctions, get into these Shelby checks, and kind of keep moving. We'll start off with a 1949 plate going back 76 years to Ohio. This one does have some surface rust on it, primarily over here by the J. This was a black plate with, I'm going to say they were off-white numbers and letters. They look yellowed now, but I think they were originally off-white. It's not been up. Like I said, kind of a cheaper plate to get things rolling with. 12 by 6, basically a standard size plate. This is all embossed back here. 1949 Ohio. All right. Anybody going to roll on this one? We're going to squeeze a Hudson badge in here and get rolling. Then we're going to get into these Shelby checks. Unless nobody wants the Ohio plate. Then we'll throw it back in the pile to mix in with some other stuff. Give it a few more seconds, see if anybody's going to jump in and start the Ohio plate. If not, we're going to move off, since this is kind of an average condition plate. So there's Steve. We can mix it in with some other Ohio plates later on. Matt, 5. All right, let's just go ahead and sell it then. All right, let's get started. Matt at 5. We'll just go ahead and sell it. Even if that's all it brings, we'll just mix it in on another shipment. But anything of this age is worth a little bit, so that's still in decent shape. It'd be great for somebody named JJ. It absolutely would. 30 seconds gone. Matt may get it for 5. Briggs, 7. Colors were light yellow and black. Okay. I just figured it was an off-white that looked yellowed. Randy, 10. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Randy at 10 is because this one's ticking away, coming out of the end. Journeyman Randy here with us. Randy at 10. Matt, 13. Couple seconds left. And that does it. Matt at 13. And remember, guys, on this stuff that's, if it's less than $20 or whatever, I'll wait till you get a couple things to put them in a box so we don't have to pay for shipping on one single thing like that if it's a low dollar piece. But they're still good pieces for your collection, so we still want to work them in. Oh, man. You want to do an emblem real quick? Hey, Scott's with us on Facebook. How about a Hudson badge? Then we'll do an emblem. Let's do an emblem real quick, and then we're going to get moving into these Shelby checks that you guys wanted to see. Something for our Ford fans. We got Ford pickup guys on here, don't we? Or are you guys all Chevy pickup guys? This is pitted up, but it's not broke. But it is a 1-year only piece. It's kind of a neat piece for our Ford truck friends. This is a side hood badge for a 1959 F-250. Ford F-250 has the gear and the lightning bolt in it. Like I said, this is pitted up. Chrome still has a good shine. It's not busted. It is stud mount. And it is 17 inches long. So kind of a statement piece, 17 inches long. Of course, that was a big hood this thing had to sit on and be seen. It is a left-hand side, as noted on the back. Gary at 12, starting us off on the 59 F250 badge. Originally, the F250 and this rough part back in here was all painted red. Obviously, that's faded away. If I were to display this, I would probably repaint the F250, repaint that red in that area, and this thing would make a nice display piece in your man cave or in the shop. So it is 59, Briggs. So let's get this thing rolling. Kevin L, 15. Coming up on the 30-second mark. 30 seconds gone. Briggs, 18. Hey, Mark stopping by tonight. Glad you made it, Mark. Just in time for an emblem. Mary, 20. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. I just have to throw it up there, Truthin. Just throw your bid up, whatever you think. Right there in the comments. Just about ready to wrap this up. Couple seconds left. Mary at 20. And that does it. Mary at 20. All right. Last week, we touched on this stuff when we did the original Cobra sales brochure. Ken, just seen a 78F Ford cabin chassis with 13 miles on it. Wow. Did you get it bought? That'd be a pretty cool piece. We talked about the Cobra brochure. We talked about the Cobra badge last week. And I told you guys about these checks that I had gotten actually we got them at Indy about 5 years ago, and you guys wanted to see them. So we're going to cover some of these real quick. Do the Cobra badge. You want to see it again? So I told you I'd dig these out and we would check them out. I've got a handful of them. These first two are from Shelby American Inc. to Lynn Brewer and Don Allen. I believe these guys were these were for press materials, is what this said. These are original. Hey, there's Glenn. Original checks from Shelby American. So there's a couple to start with. Let me get this other envelope out. And like most companies, they had different checkbooks and things like that and different checks. So let's check out a few more of these. This one made out to Lyle Engel in New York. I don't know who that is, but it was $5,500. That was a lot of money. Nope, none of them made out to you, Pete. November 11th, 1965. Max Muehlman, I think this was a marketing guy. Man from the farm stopping by. Air Oasis Company, $65.52, $6,552. December 28th, 1964. Kind of makes you wonder. Air Oasis Company, hey, there's Chad, for $65.52 in January of 64. So, there again, we're going to speculate. I don't know who did this, but $6,500 in air freight. Were these Cobras coming over from England? They shipped them air freight. Was this a check to the shipping company for bringing a load of Cobras over to be retrofitted with Shelby powertrains? Don't know. But it could be. Hey, there's Michael Brown. Petty cash check to V. Schumacher. Got him at Meekum out of the Atzbach collection about 5 years ago. January 18, 1966, Shelby American to Ford Motor Credit Company, $42.93.57. Cyclone Sales Company. Ford Motor Company, Dearborn Engine Plant, 12306. Must have been for some parts. I think they were around $5,000. I'm not sure. Dante Cardone, $350. Now, these next couple of checks, I didn't even realize what they were when we bought them. Actually, Addie actually bought them. We left her and actually, me and a buddy of mine were going to look at some cars, so we left Addie and his daughter at the memorabilia collection. And Addie bought these on her own, and I didn't even realize what they were till after she bought them. But there was a guy by the name of... Oh, come on. Got an ad pop up. I had all this information looked up, and I got a stupid ad blocking it. Back in 64, 65 era, Shelby was obviously heavily involved in racing. The Daytona Continental, February 16th of 1964, they ran, Daytona Coupes. They ran Roadsters, Shelby Cobra Roadsters. They ran the 12 Hours of Sebring in March of 64. GT40, Le Mans Test in April of 64. They ran Nürburgring May of 64 with a Cobra. The 24-hour Le Mans, June 21 of 1964 in a GT40. February 28th of 1965, the Daytona Continental. They ran a Daytona Coupe. One of the drivers, Joe Slezer. This check dated March 16th of 1965 2 weeks after they raced the Daytona Coupe at Daytona in 65. Frank made it tonight. Also ran the Daytona Coupe, the 12-hour of Sebring in 65. Ran a Daytona Coupe in Nürburgring again. Ran a Daytona Coupe at the 24-hour of Le Mans. Drove a GT40 24-hour Le Mans. So was this a paycheck? Was this an expense check? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it was written just a couple short weeks after they were racing Daytona Coupes. March 16th of 65, $725.62. Obviously, there is no notations on here as to what it was for, but could have had something to do with driving those Daytona Coupes, possibly at Daytona. So Joe Slezer, factory team driver, driving Open Cobras, Daytona Coupes, as well as GT40s, Daytona, Sebring, Le Mans. One of his checks. So I thought that one was pretty darn cool. When you think of the history tied to that, the competition cars right in the middle of it. He drove everything, GT40s, the Daytona Coupes, the open cars, everything, all right there. One more check I want to talk about. Who was actually one of the first Porsche dealers in the United States. Did a lot of racing, obviously involved with Porsche and multiple other cars. This particular check is dated November 14th, 1963. Well, shortly before that, in August, just a few short months, this name pops up. At Elkhart Lake Road America 500-mile race. I believe this was SCCA. First in class, second overall, Shelby Cobra 289. Co-driven by Bob Holbert. This check dated just a couple months after that second place finish with the 289 Cobra. Now, I did mention co-drive. A lot of these were team deals, so they can switch drivers. Anybody care to who guessed the team driver Bob Holbert was made it up with in the Road America 500 mile? Team driver, second overall, first in class, Bob Holbert, and also driving the Cobra, Ken Miles. So these were both checks for factory team drivers back in the 60s. So I thought those were pretty cool. So anyway, it came up last week. You guys wanted to see him again, so I think that's most of them. There may be a few more floating around, but I think that's most of them. How many different banks on the different checks? Never looked at that. United California Bank. United California Bank. They're all the same bank. They're all United California Bank. Just different checks. Well, there's one Bank of America. So other than one from a Bank of America account, they're all United California Bank. So kind of some neat pieces of history. Glad you guys enjoyed it. It's a 7-mile walk around Road America when you try to watch at different corners. That's a long ways around. Let's do a hubcap. What the heck, right? Oh. Ooh, I got to be careful when I reach over there. We're going to catch the cap. The badge tonight is epic, guys. Absolutely epic. This cap, this is the late 40s, early 50s era. There were a couple different variations of this cap, but it is really cool. I like them. I think they've got a great look to them. Like I said, I was not able to nail down a specific year. Some of these just had a red triangle in the middle. This one actually has the crest for the Hudson Motor Car Company. I thought this one was pretty cool. This originally had like a dark blue background. And then, of course, there was some white and I think maybe red in the other ones in the diamond. This is all ridged, all stamped stainless steel. This is kind of an interesting cap. This is bigger than the regular dog dish caps like we typically look at. This cap is about 12 3/4. However, it is actually designed to mount just like a regular dog dish cap. It has an inner steel ring where it attaches, and this outside perimeter just hangs over. You can see how this is all stamped in here, because you can see all the ridges. You can see the ornamentation all stamped in the stainless. A few dings and dents in this one, but overall a pretty neat cap, especially if somebody took the time to repaint the background. Definitely a great wall hanger. Plus, it's another cool one that who knows, most of your friends aren't going to know what it is. So you can look really smart when you hold it up there. So kind of a cool looking cap, late 40s, early 50s era Hudson motor car. So anyway, we haven't done an auction item in a while. Anybody want to buy a Hudson cap, or we throw it back down on the floor and grab something different? Pete, 11. I guess that means we're selling it. We didn't even get an answer. We just got a bid. So, all right, I guess we'll go ahead and do it. Let me rearrange here, actually. I got these checks laying here. Oh, let me reshuffle. Kevin L., 15. Glenn, 12. So, in honor of the Hudson cap, let's have a Hudson badge, and let's hit go. Glenn at 16 as we hit the timer. Doesn't work for Tractor Mike, yeah. We're live, and we're ready to go on the Hudson cap. Got Glenn at 16. Michael Brown, 20. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Glenn, 22. Michael Brown, 23. Glenn, 24. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Michael Brown, 25. Glenn, 26. Kevin, 33. Just a few seconds left. Kevin at 33. Michael Brown, 50. And that does it. Michael Brown with a 50. Making sure he was covered, because I was thinking that was going to happen. There was going to be some people jumping in at the end. But it's a cool looking piece. Anybody want to do a hood ornament? We haven't done a hood ornament in a while. They're kind of heavy, so I don't like to do them. But I've got a hood ornament we can do if anybody wants to do a hood ornament. some other caps, some other grease caps. We'll squeeze one or two more things in, then we're going to keep moving along here throughout the night. See how I hold up, for one thing. All right. One thing we haven't done yet, the No Buddies page either. So, no hood ornaments tonight, guys. You don't want to do the hood ornament? We can skip it and go to something different. You want a hood ornament? Okay. I wasn't getting any feedback, so I was kind of curious. Hood ornament. Okay. Okay, there it is. Maybe they were hung up. This is one you can buy them new. I'm sure you can buy a new one for a couple $100. But this has got pitting in it, but it's not broke. It's just a nice display piece. But it is off of an iconic car. This is the bird. You can see the snout on this thing. The hood bird for a 55 Chevy. So like I said, you can buy them new, but a new one isn't near as cool as this if you're going to hang it in your man cave. It's got some pitting. It's got some scratches. The chrome still has a decent shine. It's not busted up. Even the tip of the tail's not busted off. It's got the side wings on it. It is, well, these things are pop metal, so they're fairly heavy. They cost a few bucks to ship, so. The lag is terrible. Okay. That might explain part of it. 15 inches long, 9 inches wide. John started us off at 15 on the 55 Chevy hood bird. Like I said, it's pitted up. Somebody may put this on a car if they were building like a patina car or a driver, just because it does have a decent original look to it. And you obviously wouldn't want to put a brand new one on a car like that. But there again, you're putting it in your bar, your man cave, in your shop. It's perfect. John started us off at 15. Let's get it on the timer, and away we go. I'm going to try to pick something else up. Try. That is a great pull handle for a beer cooler. Just past the 30-second mark. John at 15. Briggs, 18. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left. Mark, 27. Pete, 19. Few seconds left. I've got Mark at 27. Kevin at 20. That's Cheryl at 20 over here, but I've already got Mark at 27. And that does it. Mark's 27 held. John had a 28, but it was too late. That 19 and 20 window was real popular. I had Sean, I think that's Ron over there. Or Cheryl, I think it was Ron. Pete, Kevin L. But Mark had a 27 hanging in there that got it done. All right. Let's do a grease cap and a couple plates, and then we're going to do one of the most epic promo models that we got out of that deal. We got some great stuff coming, but this was a car that, even with the Corvettes, the Camaros, the pickups, everything that was at the promo auction, when Dad and I walked up, we both said, we got to try to own that. But let's catch a grease cap real quick. Then we're going to catch a couple plates, and then we're going to get to the promo and the emblem tonight. And like I said, we'll see how things go. We're about an hour in. I'm doing okay, but actually, I'm going to turn my air on because it's 82 degrees in here now. It wasn't bad when I started, but it's warming up. Let me kick my air on real quick. We'll do a couple more auction pieces, and then we will do the promo and the badge tonight. Are both gonna knock your socks off. Okay, grease cap. We've done something similar to this. I don't know that we've done this exact one. For our triple diamond fans, this is not bad, but somebody drilled one small hole in it. But we can still see our triple diamond nice and clear. The international is nice and clear. Like I said, there is a hole. Somebody drilled in it right there. Some of the paint still there. Looks like it's probably been repainted. Would need to be repainted again to really make it pop. This is an aluminum cap. Hex across the top, like to get this one off. This is a little deeper than most of them. 2 3/4 deep. And it is about 2 across the face of the hex. This is internal thread like all these caps are. On the little, this is late 20s, I'm guessing, based on the diameter. 2 3/4 and on the diameter back here. So this would have been a little bit bigger shaft, probably. I think these were all pretty much truck. I don't remember Tractor really using anything like this. Tractor Mike might be able to clarify that. But everything I remember was seeing these on trucks. So I'm going to say this is a mid to late 20s era international truck grease cap. So let's get rolling on it. Who's going to kick us off on this grease cap and get going? Here we go. Totally different script on tractors. Okay. So this is truck. Tony at 10. $30 seconds gone. Tony's our only guy on this one, apparently. We're going to find out. We're about halfway through. Most of the tractors were cast iron. Okay, so the trucks were aluminum. Tractors were typically cast iron. 1 minute gone. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left. Just about ready to wrap it up. I've got Tony at 10. And that does it. Goodbye at 10, even with the little hole in it. We'll put that in Tony's pile. One more set of a pair of plates laying here. Then we're going to move forward on this other stuff. This is a match set. Hard to believe that after 61 years, these things are still together. From, hey, there's the Randy with a Nut Farm, Iowa. 1964 Iowa matched set. Look at the condition of these things. Kind of a forest green, white letters and numbers. Match set, 1678. Original plates. Look at the back of them. Yeah, they're 61 years old. Tractor Mike starting us off at 10 on the Iowa plates. You're getting both of them, the set of them, to you. So, Tractor Mike starts off at 10. Let's get rolling on the Iowa plates. I hope my back hangs in here. $30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. We got a killer cap coming up a little bit later too, guys. Briggs, 15. Got your 5-pound Lincoln cap. Briggs at 15. Kenny at 12. I got Briggs at 15. How about we slide a Hudson badge in there? And an Auburn badge. As we come up on the 1 minute mark from Mills County, Iowa, Briggs at 15. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Tractor Mike, 16. That's the county, I think. I think that's what Pete just checked for us. Austin, 22. Michael, 17. I got Austin at 22. Just a couple seconds left. And that does it. Austin at 22. Michael out of 23. Austin. Holy cow, there was a bunch more in there. Austin at 22 is who I had at 130. Unfortunately, because there was a lot more money out there, it looks like. Austin at 22. The Nobodies page. What's going on the Nobodies page? If you're not on here, be on here. Get on here. The Nobodies on Facebook. Zach and Andy manage that page for us. I do not have anything to do with it. They take care of that for us. Nick posting license plates on there. Pete going through a small block. James Buick Man working on a Scout. It's so great what you guys post on there. We can all keep up with what's going on. Andy had the 56 out again. 30-second lag. Holy cow. So it is bad. You might try refreshing, Michael. We're not going to do any auctions here for a few minutes, so might try to refresh. More XL shirts, Mark. Yes, we are going to get a I do need to get a new shirt done, actually. That's why there wasn't many left of those, because that was the end of that batch. Briggs Garage went and brought back my grandfather's 42 Harley. Wow. 4,600 miles in 4 days. New York to Wyoming. That is insane. But that thing is super cool. Holy cow. If you guys are not on the Nobodies page, you got to check this out. We're on a 95 F350. Looking at 63 Olds next Saturday. Those are pretty decent looking cars. This is crazy cool. Yeah, if you guys are not on the Nobodies page, you should be on the Nobodies page. Pete added more auctions, shockingly. I never would have guessed any of us would be at an auction. But anyway, lots of cool car show pictures on there. Great page. Once again, as always, can't thank Zach and Andy enough for putting that together for us and managing that for us. Answer the questions. They have that as a filter to make sure they know who's getting in there. And but super appreciate those guys doing it, and it is super awesome. Must have a lag on Facebook as well, because we just had a $25 bid pop up on Facebook as well. So yeah, got lags everywhere. We will do a few more auction pieces yet tonight, so you guys may want to go ahead and hit refresh now before we get back into it. I think we'll go ahead and do the badge next before we get into the promo. Like I said, this one hubcap we got coming up is really cool. We got a horn button. Ooh, I can lie with this one license plate. Super cool. We got a few more cool things coming yet. We want to auction off yet tonight anyway. So, absolutely, man from the farm. That is definitely true. Yeah, you putting that many miles on that quick. Yeah, you didn't have a lot of wiggle room in time. But tonight's badge. It goes in here. Anybody figure this out? Any guesses as to what this is? Nope, it's not Oldsmobile. But that's a good guess. That would make sense. Oh. Nope, it's not Pontiac. Not Buick. Not Packard. We'll give you a hint. What goes in here? This medallion goes in that housing. I told you guys we had a cool emblem tonight, right? Huh? You ready? Can you guys handle this? This is pretty cool. Yes, Briggs, it is DeSoto. Lewis is here. How's this for a cool badge? Yeah, it's a pretty neat piece. I told you we had a cool badge tonight, right? That I wasn't lying? There is actually a small piece of trim that holds this in. This is actually the center grill piece that splits the two grills, and this mounts inside of it. And there is a small pop metal molding, which I do not have, that surrounds it and fills this space in. Lots of hearts for this one. But yeah, that's a pretty cool piece. See old Ferdinand right there at the top. You can look at the detail on the back of this, how this is all cast. It is 50. It's 1950. But it's quite a piece, to say the least. The hearts are still going. You know, something like this, they would never reproduce. So I've got one in the yard. I do have 150 in the yard. The hearts are still going. People trying to buy it. I would sell this, but this would be a lot of money because you'll think of the guy doing a 50 DeSoto convertible. Where do you find this at to do a 50 DeSoto convertible at? So, I mean, I would sell it, but it's well in its hundreds and hundreds because it's so cool. I don't care if I sell it. But the hearts are still flowing. So, yeah, I told you guys we had a cool emblem. I'm glad you guys liked it because the hearts are literally still going. Yeah. But yeah, it's a great piece. I thought about maybe trying to find the little pop metal piece to put it in there and then paint this and then put it all together. Because if I could get the other little trim piece and you paint this like a nice blue or something and then put that together, how cool would that look? So, great looking piece. I was pretty excited. You know, I saw the box that said medallion. This was still sealed. I opened this. This was sealed up until a couple months ago. Hearts and fireworks still going. Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm glad I didn't disappoint when I told you guys we had a super killer badge for tonight. So we'll tuck that back away. in its original box. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. The hearts are still going. Yeah, you're a little short there, Mark. That's right. And that's exactly what it is, throwing sparks. Unobtainium. Because what would it take to actually tool up to make that with those kind of details for the amount of 50 DeSotos that are actually out there, You guys all refreshed? You want to slide a couple more auction pieces in here before we get to the promo? I got to be a little more careful when I bend over. Oh. All right, we're going to do a horn button, then we're going to do this cap. Oh, this plate is cool too. Okay. We'll get a couple more here now, then we'll do the promo, then we'll do a couple more. I'll save that cap. We'll do a plate, and then I'll save that cap. This plate's really cool too. Okay. Up next, how about a horn button? We love horn buttons, right? This one, 1963 Pontiac with the star suspended in the middle of it. Kind of shiny. You got to get a reflection there. You guys see the Pontiac star suspended in the middle of this one? We see the depth in this thing. You see the button actually has some depth to itself. And then it's got these lines shooting down to the star suspended in the middle of it. Kind of a unique piece. The outside chrome is pop metal. Does have some pitting, but it does have a nice bright shine. It does actually still have the clips on the back as well. It is. This is full-size 63 Pontiac, and it's about 3 3/8. Kevin L at 20, about 3 3/8 in diameter. Mary at 20. Well, I'm sure the 20 ain't going to hold. Everybody's hitting it at 20 already. 1963 Pontiac full-size horn button, and let's go on the timer. Kevin and Mary both at 20, but I don't think that's going to matter much. John, 25. It is cool, Lewis. There's no doubt about it. Lewis, 29. As always, guys, PayPal, friends and family, check, money order, whatever. Was that a bid or not, Lewis? 30 seconds gone. Oh, Lewis had a 20. We've already got John at 25. We got Michael at 30 now. Michael Brown at 30 on the Pontiac horn button. Lewis, 32. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left. About ready to wind this one up. Lewis at 32. Mary, 35. And that does it. I had a bunch of them come in right there, but Mary's 35 covered it because everything was a 35. Kevin L had a 37. It was too late. Mary's 35 held because everything else that came in, I got Mary's 35 at like 126. From 127 to 130, I got 34, 35, 35. And then Kevin L had a 37. John had 40, but that was all after the fact. So Mary at 35 is who I had at 130, which is the only fair way to do it. So Test. I see that, Michael. I don't know when you sent it, but I just seen it. Hey, there's Eric. This plate, I love this plate. This thing is so cool. I'm keeping some of these. That's why I'm going to sell this one. I thought about keeping this one. But this thing is awesome. I love this. Wyoming, 1975. The spirit of 76 in the American West. I think you guys are going to dig this. Check this out. Michael, 10. Has the bucking bronco right here. Which hand? There we go, that hand. This is printed. The numbers are stamped. The bucking bronco is printed. 1975, gearing up for the bicentennial year of 1976. Tractor Mike, 13. Standard size plate. Briggs, 20. Mary, 15. Eric, 30. So kind of a cool piece. I just thought it was neat with the red, white, and blue, the bucking bronco. Let's get this thing on the timer. I told you we had a cool plate coming up. Let's see what happens. Lewis, 40. Just past that 30-second mark, we're going to wait towards the 1 minute. Park County, says Pete. Park County is up by Yellowstone, okay? One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Lewis at 40. Eric, 42. Coming out of the end, we're ticking away, getting close to the end. Eric at 42. And that got it done. Eric at 42. And there they go, 50, 43. Raffle real quick. Who's in this week? Tim B., Randy Ellenberger, and Austin McCoy. For the little Marks Fire Chief car, condition is everything on this. This thing is amazing. This is original paint, extremely well preserved. Friction Marks Fire Chief car. The absolutely beautiful raffle piece for tonight. Or not tonight, this month, excuse me, for May. So make sure you get your chances in. Make sure you are in the big Buick oil can for the drawing at the end of the month. And we got Jesse's entries in there as well, since he won free entries into this month. Perfect, Eric. Sounds great. Last month, Mary actually won. I don't think Mary bought tickets last month, but she did win because she won the tickets in the drawing the month before. So put her back in for all those 1923 plates heading her way. So you guys are ready? Let's do it. $1 a chance, Michael. You send $5 for the raffle. I put your name in five times, $10, 10 times, etc., for the raffle. Without further ado, if you guys are ready, I'm going to share with you the promo. Like I said, when we got to this auction, there were 84 Chevrolet promos on this table. that were going to go to new homes that day. With what we bought at the auction, then like I told you guys, I called a guy that I knew had bought several other ones because I was right in the middle of closing on that other shop I had just bought. I called him and he had bought one promo for somebody else that asked him to pick it up for him. And then I bought all the rest of what he had because he hadn't sold any yet. But all that being said, the Corvettes that were there, C1, C2, C3, the pickup trucks, the Camaros, all of that stuff that was there. Caramel drumstick, that does not sound like a bad plan at all. There was one promo that when Dad and I first walked up to the table, we were both like, oh, that is just wow. We're going to have a Hudson badge and an Auburn badge as we're preparing for this. Because this was one of the coolest ones there as far as I was concerned. Like I said, we bought over half of them, but this one absolutely stood out. The 1959 Impala Nomad station wagon. A little bit of warpage to this one because there goes. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are liking it. You know, the 5960 stuff warped terribly. This one does have a little bit of slight warp, but it's not busted. It's not chipped. There goes the hearts. Lots of shocked faces. This was a pretty cool one. Look at the rear of this car. The taillights are intact. The fins aren't chipped. It's quite a piece. Obviously, 59 Chevy's one of the hottest cars on the market right now. So when we walked up this thing, it's like, oh, wow, that we need to try to get that car bought. And we did. The bottom of this one is just a plain metal one. SMP, Mount Clemens, Michigan. It was friction. So no details on the bottom of this one other than the metal plate, but it does have the friction drive in it. Original caps, tires. Inside, you can see some of the details. I don't know if you guys will be able to see the dash is all in it, just the way it should be. But yeah, it's quite a piece. You're not even getting in the ballpark of what we had to pay for it, Michael. But like I said, now you know why when Dad and I walked up, there was one that stood out. And there was a lot of great stuff there, don't get me wrong. And we've got a lot of great stuff to come. We've got some amazing Corvettes, some Camaros. But this one just absolutely stood out as that needs to try to come on with us. No, we're not. Yeah, Austin. This is a pretty amazing piece. If you'll notice on the hood, it was a 348 car. It does have rally flags on the hood, so this was a 348 powered Nomad wagon. I think a lot of times it wasn't, so few, there wasn't a ton of them that were friction. Bill Wagman hasn't been on with us for a while, but he can answer all that. Yeah, we do have some Corvettes coming up, Eric. Some really killer Corvettes too. There's some amazing Corvette promos, but even looking at the Corvette promos, this is the one that we're kind of like, oh, we got to own this. The 1959 Impala Nomad station wagon, original dealership promo. The Chevy dealer himself took this home, put it on his shelf in 1959, and it never left until we got to that auction back in September and brought it home with us. The hearts are still rolling. Never late with a 348. So, yep. Pretty cool piece. Kind of a rose-colored roof against an off-white colored body. Pretty amazing piece. So glad you guys liked it. Glad you guys weren't disappointed in what we were so excited about. And glad you guys liked it. Pretty special piece. Let's catch a sales brochure real quick. Tied directly to our promo model. J.C. Whitney had their own catalogs back then. Tonight's brochure, obviously, we have an amazing selection of brochures to work with now. One on eBay for $250. That's not. I don't think that if it's this good, I don't think that's a terrible buy at $250 if it's not chipped up or as good as this one is. I think that's a pretty decent buy if you wanted one. Tonight's brochure, the 1959 Chevrolet. On the front, a four-door Impala hardtop, flat top. Once again, powered by a 348. But check this out. This is the cover car of the brochure. Four-door hardtop, flat top Impala. Very popular body style. Dog dish caps, 348 power. So let's catch this brochure, a few more auction pieces, and I'm probably going to have to call it for tonight, guys. I'm trying to hang in there, but it's every time I twist, it's a new adventure and pain. So as we flip open the first page, once again, the 59 Impala four-door hardtop in an opposite color scheme of our station wagon. The colors are actually, the colors for our wagon, cameo coral and satin beige. Satin beige body, cameo coral roof. This 59 flat top, cameo coral body with satin beige roof. The exact opposite color scheme of our promo wagon. In Snowcrest White, the Impala convertible. See you later, Michael. Glad you stopped by. Thanks, Michael. The Impala Coupe, Sport Coupe, as well as America's most desired two-seater, the Corvette. The Bel Air. The cover, I believe, is a photo. The rest of these are drawings, but I believe this is a photo. But when we compare to what we're seeing in here, I think these were, drawings or paintings. The Biscayne. And the station wagons. The Kingswood four-door, 9-passenger station wagon. And here's our Nomad wagon with a 348 in green, as well as the two-door wagon and the Parkwood and Brookwood four-door 6-passenger wagons. Inside, the iconic and one of the most popular dashes ever made for the 59 Chevy. Introducing Magic Mirror acrylic lacquer, new finish that keeps its brilliance for years. Yep, they are, John. I keep figuring you're going to want that one back. One of these days, you're going to come by and see and say, I need that back. Greatest power team choice of all time. The 250 horse turbo thrust V8. In an engine, cubic inches are muscles, and here are 348 of them. The 280 horse turbo thrust V8. Triple two-barrel carburetors offer single carburetor economy for normal driving, coupled with full power boost when you need it. And yes, something else that was available in 1959. And I don't know if all you guys knew this or not. Hey, there's Pappy. The 250 horse ramjet fuel injection was available in the full-size 1959 Chevrolets. There weren't very many of them made, but it was available. You could get fuel injection in a 59 passenger car. At this point with Chevrolet, it was still mechanical. In 1959, believe it or not, Chrysler had electronic fuel injection. It didn't work, but they had it. And chassis, as well as a few options that were available. And then the back cover, the iconic flattened out tail fins of the 59 Chevy. The back shot of the same car from the front cover. We'll just flip the whole thing out so you can catch both views on the back cover and the front cover. So there you have it, the 1959 Chevy sales brochure to go with our 59 Impala Nomad wagon. Yep, that's the color of the dash that I actually got from John that's laying in the shop. I've got 3 or 4 of them out, and I've still got some in cars. But I think I've got 3 5960 dashes that I've bought at swap meets that are, stacked in inventory. But the one I got from John is so great because it's all original paint. It all matches, all original components. Some of these other ones have been put together with other pieces, and they don't all match and things like that. But the one I got from John in all original paint is amazing. Yeah, that X-frame didn't always seem like the best idea. I would agree with that. So anyway, guys, let's do a couple more auctions, and I'm going to call it. This is, my back is bad. So we got obviously tons of cool more sales brochures to go. Lots more stuff to check out. Just getting into the tip of the iceberg on this massive sales brochure collection that we just got from our good friend Carrie. So anyway, there you have it. I hope I didn't disappoint anybody. Awful lot of hype leading up to this promo. But by the amount of hearts that were flowing, I think you guys agreed with me. Perfect, Eric. I'm glad it made it safely. If you haven't got your other box yet, it's on the way too. Which one, Mark? Which badge are we talking about? Let's do a couple more auction pieces. I told you we would, and then let's go ahead and get things wound down for tonight. I'm glad you think so, Kevin. I tried to put a pretty good episode together. Okay, perfect. It's there. Awesome. Let's do a plate, a cap, and we'll do a plate and a cap, maybe another. Oh, the DeSoto? Okay. Hold on. I got to get over there to get it. Then we'll do a plate and a cap. If you guys want to do one other cap or something, we'll slide another piece in. You just tell me. This thing's so awesome. Mark wants to see it again. And it's really kind of tough to argue with that statement. And there goes the hearts again. Okay, let's do one more plate. This is kind of a cheaper plate anyway, but it's a really odd size. That's what's cool. Going back once again to 76 years, 1949, straight north of us to Nebraska. This is a really funky looking plate. It's raw aluminum. This border is all stamped in it. Raw aluminum on the back. Kind of burgundy letters. I got this, Pete. These have gotten to be real good friends here over the last several days. But like I said, it's an odd size. 10 inches by 5 3/4. So it's 10 by 5 3/4. So about the same height as what we're used to right in that 6-inch window, but 2 inches shorter with this weird border stamped around it. Eric started us off at 10. Kind of like I said, it's odd because it's just a weird size when you hang it up with your other ones. Makes it look different. And kind of a cool piece being raw aluminum. Eric starting us off at 10. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer, and away we go. Oh. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Eric at 10. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Eric must be our only fan of little short plates. Gary, 11. Cheryl, 18. I think Ron, but it's under Cheryl's account. 18 over there. Tony, 25. And that does it. Tony at 25. Alan at 15. I had Tony at 25, and all within that minute 28 to minute 32 window, I had 18, 15, 15, 25, 19, and Lewis had a 30. Tony at 25 is who I had at the minute 30 mark. All right, really cool cap next. It's kind of banged up, but it's really cool. I think you guys are going to dig it. And then let me know if you guys want to squeeze one or two more things in before we wrap it tonight, because I am going to go ahead and jump off here a little bit early. This cap is really great, but it is banged up. I'm not sure of the year. I think it's late 40s. Alan's on. He'll know. For our friends and fans of the Mercury Man, check this thing out. Like I said, it does have some dings and dents in it. The Mercury Man's head's right here. The Mercury script is across it. This is stainless, and you can see this all stamped in the stainless on the backside. It does have a metal ring that helped mount it to the wheel. The Mercury and the Mercury Man would have originally been painted probably a red or a burgundy. If I were to do it, I thought about doing it, but I thought, well, I'll leave it up to whoever ends up with it. Of repainting this in a red with the Mercury Man in red, and then this thing is really going to pop hanging on the wall in your shop or your man cave. This cap is about 10.5 in diameter and a super cool piece. Tony starting us off at 10. And here we go. We're live on the timer on the Mercury cap. And that's it. Nobody else is interested. Lewis, 15. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go on the Mercury cap. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Lewis, 15 on the Mercury cap. Eric, 25. Kevin, 17. I got Eric at 25. We got a few seconds left. We are ticking away on this thing. Eric at 25. Pete, 26. And that does it. Pete at 26. Then I had Kevin at 26. Eric at 35. But Pete at 26 is who we had at the 130 mark. Alan had a 16 hanging over there too. Just popped up. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to hopefully get some sleep tonight. Hopefully. If I get my back to calm down long enough to get to sleep. We'll just move this story time to the next one, adds to the next time, and go ahead and get ready to wind things down. Like I mentioned earlier, next week we will skip. I will be out of town. Pete, Eric, and Bill Disk, if you want to do training maybe Tuesday night after Toy Tuesday, we might be trying to squeeze it in then. We should do one this week, but I will be gone by Thursday. So we would try to squeeze it in early. Whatever you guys want to do, we can definitely do that. Or we could do a couple of them the following week. I want to make sure I stay right with you guys as well. So with that, I guess we will see some of you guys Tuesday evening for some Toy Tuesday. And it will be 2 weeks from now before we're back together on a Sunday night since I won't be here. So, but anyway, I appreciate all the support, guys. I'm just hoping I can sleep tonight. Like I said, out of the last 4 or 5 nights, I've gotten 2 nights of decent sleep. The rest of the nights have just been up and down, and just can't get caught up. So With that, guys, we're going to call it. I'm tapped out. I can't go anymore. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for making this what it is. Hope you had a good time tonight. Hope you enjoyed the promo. I know I'd hyped that one up pretty good. We've still got a lot of cool stuff coming. Hey, there's Big Job. Glad you jumped in for a minute. Perfect, Austin. Appreciate that. Get a massage and 2 Motrin. Okay. At this point, I'm about ready to try whatever. Pile of grease caps just fell over. I guess they wanted to be sold. We'll sell them next time. Appreciate you guys stopping by for an episode, just like Kenny said, number 262. As crazy as that sounds. But we're here because you guys are here. We're having a good time because you guys are here and engaging, participating, being part of it, and making it what it is. So we'll see some of you Tuesday night. If we miss you Tuesday and the following Tuesday, we should be able to catch Toy Tuesday as well. But I will keep posts up and notifications up. Just like I said, if we're going to be on Bank Shift Wednesday night, I will put a post up so you guys are aware of what's going on and when we'll be going live. So with that, I'm going to jump off and hopefully get some rest. Thanks for being here tonight. I appreciate what we got going. We'll see you in 2 weeks on the same bat time at the same bat station. And I hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see some of you Tuesday night, or we'll see you in 2 weeks for some more Sunday night Gearhead Interactive Live Chat. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here and watching. Hope you had a good time, and we will see you soon on the next video.